everyone. Welcome.
Welcome.
So, we should be live on YouTube and Facebook. We do know there's a little bit of a delay. So once you get here, let us know you are here in the comments so we can say hello. So, as everyone is getting the notification and joining, I know that we might be a little low on viewers because it has been a bit of time since we have been live.
Just a bit.
Yes, we have been busy. And for those who have not seen it yet, we are in our brand new remodeled studio, and I absolutely love it. It looks so great. Hey, Jennifer, how's it going? So today we have the privilege of opening some Happy Meal.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So as you guys know, for those of you who've been following the channel, we are going through a huge shift on our channel. We're really excited to debut all of those new changes coming up in the next few weeks. But we still have business partners that we adore to pieces. And one of those is Artesprix. For those of you who do not know, we met Artesprix 2 years ago at a Creativation, and they debuted these amazing markers. They were sublimation ink markers. And since debuting this, I've had the privilege of joining them in Bethel, New York, doing an event there, and they have released their entire product line, which I'm really excited about because up to this point, the way that you got to experience Artesprix was going through other people. You had to go to different websites. You couldn't buy directly. Not anymore. They now have their own website. You can check it out. I have the link down below. But if you look up Iron on Ink, it's going to lead you there. And with that came a whole bunch of new products. So we want to show you that, and we also want to give you some tips and kind of go over everything with you. Now, since we last did a project with them, like I said, tons of new products, tons of new colors, and what I'm about to show you is just the tip of the iceberg. They have a whole release strategy ahead of them, so it's really exciting times. And I get to announce, well, I guess not really announce, but I'll be one of the first creators to announce that they have the patent now on these markers.
Wow.
So,
nice.
Which is really great because if you guys remember, they were actually the first company to bring sublimation ink to the market. I know a lot of you are Cricut fans and you are looking at and saying, what about infusible ink? And I'm not going to get in between the two of them, but they actually beat Cricut to the market with sublimation markers. They are the ones that brought it to the market first, and Cricut followed them. So they really do have this technology down. They have a ton of colors coming the way, and they have really listened to their audience and what they would like to see and what they would like to do in the future. And some of those will be in the products you see today. Now, if you have any questions, please, by all means, make sure to put your question in caps. So this way we can get that answered for you. There is amazing resources on their website. So if you have not checked out their new website, head down below in the links. Check it out. They have an amazing FAQ page. They have an amazing how-to page for YouTube tutorials. They have just launched a YouTube social media page, their Facebook, their Pinterest, and their Instagram. So this is kind of a big debut for them. Unfortunately, we didn't get to go to Creativation this year, but they had a huge display at Creativation. But as always, they have been such amazing partners that they have sent us a lot of the stuff that they showed at Creativation. Before we get started, one last thing I really want you guys to know. You guys know, for those that have been watching my Ken from the car, I'm really passionate about business partners. And I am telling you right now, Artesprix, I absolutely love these people. I had the privilege of spending time with them in New York, Ashley and Tanya, and I have never laughed so hard. There are certain people in the world you just click with, you get, and you instantly feel comfortable. And they are definitely these people. So please, please always support those amazing relationships we have formed, and take a look at their entire website. Now, of course, their product plays nicely with other people's product. You guys know I'm a huge advocate for 651 vinyl. That is the amazing Troy and Tammy. Now, on their site, they also have some blanks. They have vinyl, in which you might be saying, well, why will we need vinyl? You can actually use vinyl and specifically HTV, glitter HTV, which we showed in our video. Looks beautiful. Plus, they have heat presses, but so does Artesprix. They have their own heat press. So it's pretty amazing how far this company has come since we saw them 2 years ago at Kreations. So without further ado, I think let's start by showing you the new product that they have sent us, the new packaging, and then we might do a quick few projects here. So let's go to our camera display here. And hey guys, we love that we are back too. So here is a couple things that they sent from us.
Before you go on, sorry for the interruption. Everybody's been asking, how are you feeling? How are the hands? All that good stuff.
So my hands are still numb, but that's life, right? That is life and stuff. We're going to bring down the brightness a little bit on this. We know that's a little bit high on the brightness. We're still getting used to the new studio and the lights. So first of all, let me show you kind of what they sent me. I absolutely adore them. So Artesprix, of course, sent me this that says, "Dear Ken, I hope you enjoyed all of our new products. We have stamp pads with our patent pending technology arriving soon," which they actually have on their website now. "All our videos, how-to, are up on our YouTube channel. We look forward to seeing what you create. Happy crafting, Tanya. P.S. The protective paper is reusable and the heat tape is reusable too." So Tanya, for those of you who are wondering, well, who is Tanya? Tanya is the inventor behind this. She actually worked at Artesprix. For those of you who do not know, Artesprix is actually more of an ink company. They are the ones that are producing the sublimation ink and stuff. So this was kind of her brainchild. This is her passion, and she's bringing it to the craft market. And like I said, they actually brought it before Cricut did. So now everyone's talking about sublimation, and I think we have a lot of that to thank for Artesprix, because I really do feel like they were the ones that kicked off that whole craze.
Absolutely.
Also with that, they sent us this. This is their brand new website, Iron on Ink. Has all, of course, their social media. And this is just a really cool one. Artesprix Iron on Ink offers a complete line of sublimation products that allow artists and crafters to personalize polyester coated blanks with their own designs, with dozens of different marker colors to choose from, along with stamp pads, accessories, and blanks. You'll never run out of ideas for creative projects that last a lifetime.
Nice.
All right, so let's take a look at some of these. I'm going to bring out the markers here and the packaging. Now, the markers here have been broken into kind of some themes. So we have Gnome Botanicals, the Black Pack, the Pastel Pack, and the Primary. We actually have a little document we can show you that shows you all of the different colors that they currently offer. So this way, if you're wondering, okay, what colors is there, we can take a look. So you can see here with the original markers, this is going to be essentially the Primary. You have the original that came out in the very beginning. So this would have been in our first video.
That's a 10-pack.
That was, yes, that was a 10-pack. So those were the original markers that came out. The ones that we are looking at today, the first one you see is the Gnome Botanical. This has a almond, lavender, mustard seed, poppy, clover, and bark. The pastel color is ballerina, sky, sea foam, cotton candy, mauve, and mint. And let me tell you, those colors are super trending right now. When we go to page 2, we have the primary markers, which is the apple, cupcake, carrot, ocean, canary, cactus, and of course then the black marker. So these are the 4 packs that they offer. They actually still do offer the original 10-pack if you're interested in that as well. The nice thing on that little reference sheet is if you have the original 10-pack, this will give you an idea of where those colors kind of fall into their new lineup. when we look at these markers, let's open this. This is what they look like. So they do look a little different than the original markers I had debuted in our first channel. And I do think it's important to note that even though these are safe, they do have the 14 and over to be within the standard of industry with the conforming to all of the standards. So these are super easy to use. You really are going to draw, position, press, and reveal. And these I have not checked, but I should check to see if these fit in the Cricut. I know Silhouette and Brother they will fit in, and to be honest, they do look like they might fit into the Cricut.
According to, I believe, one of the FAQs, you still need to have a adapter.
Yes.
Both Silhouette and Cricut.
All right, so let's just take a look, even though we did show you the site, all the different colors. So this is our Nomi Botanicals, and this here has the poppy. We also here have lavender, bark, almond, mustard, and clover. So this is definitely, I can see why they came up with the gnome name on this. It's pretty, as you can say,
outdoorsy.
Yes. So let's take a look at the pastel. This has the unicorn on the front, and this has those colors. We have a ballerina, the sky, seafoam, cotton candy, mauve, and mint. So I'm just going to kind of line these up so you can see all the different colors within these first initial packs. Now, I cannot confirm what colors are coming, but I can tell you that I was shown a photo by Tanya of all the colors they are working on. Oh my goodness, it is an entire whiteboard. That's all I will say. So if you love these markers, but you want a lot of colors, just wait, they are coming. So in our primary, we have apple, cupcake, carrot, ocean, canary, and cactus. The last pack is a 6-pack of black markers. And what I love about this is in their original set, the black marker was just a black marker. But in this one, they've given us 2 of each. We have a chisel, a round, and a fine tip. So let's go ahead and open these.
I'll have to go grab that.
I brought it if you want to show them those.
Yeah. So here's the 3. So you got the round there on the top, the fine in the middle, and the chisel on the bottom. Very cool. And you get 2 of each.
All right, we'll put the cap back on those. So those are the markers. I'm gonna put these off to the side for now, and let's grab some other things.
I'll try to go find it for you.
All right, Sean, so let's go ahead and take our next thing. So I'm really excited with this next thing, and that is their brand new stamps. Now, what's cool about the stamps is, at first, I was kind of wondering why the stamps. And then it dawned on me, oh, in order to do this, you have to do things backwards. Stamps, that's kind of hard. And the trick that we learned is you can use the gel press. So you could stamp onto a gel press, flip the gel press around, and that would rotate it. You could use a bright pad. You could use a lot of different things. But Artesprix said, why do that when we can just release stamps that are backwards? And that's exactly what they did. They've released 2 sets of stamps so far, a set stencil, and they have released some ink. So this ink is actually the ink that will work and actually transfer on to the items we are using. The first set has some really cool designs that are outdoor themes, and you can see everything is a little backwards. This is my favorite set, which is just some hand lettering basics, which you can see in there, which we'll be using today. There is also stencil. They have their own acrylic stamp block. And of course, the stamp pad that has that ink in that's going to give us the ability to transfer this. Now let's take a look at their new blanks. So this probably was one of my biggest frustrations in the beginning when Artesprix released their markers. The markers were brilliant, but it was trying to find the blanks that worked with it. And in order to utilize the markers, you do need to use a polyester blend. So you can't just put this on, let's say, a 100% cotton. It has to be polyester blend. Now they've given us kind of a one-stop shop to find the stuff. So let's take a look at some of the things they have. They have this amazing picture frame. It's a 4x6 with the polyester blend on there, so it's going to work perfect with it. Now, if you are going to find blanks on your own, you're going to want to make sure that when you are looking for things, it is polyester as in it. You want to make sure. Now, you can use all different amounts of polyester, but it's going to affect on how brilliant the color will be. They also have plastic keychain blanks, a maple keychain, maple luggage tag, bag tack. We also have metal keychains, textured coasters, plastic bag tags, bookmarks, tumbler wraps for sublimation, a poly canvas zipper case. They were so sweet, and they sent us a couple of pet bandanas because they know that we have some puppies and pets in our midst. And they sent us this beautiful tumbler here. Let me open this up. And with this tumbler, they actually gave us a how-to, which you can find on their website. It gives you all of the instructions on how to do a tumbler project using this tumbler. So these are just some of the blanks. Once again, you can go over to our friends at 651 Vinyl, and they have even more blanks that you can use. You just want to make sure you really research the blanks and get the right type. They also released some supplies, and these supplies are great. Now, they do have a heat press that is an Artesprix heat press, which is great. It's $2.99, perfect, beautiful. It's a little crafter size. You can also use heat presses that you have gotten at different companies. 651 has some great heat presses. You can use the Easy Press from Cricut, and you can, of course, use iron. The one thing I will use caution is the nice thing on a heat press is when you are using and working with sublimation, you don't want your image to shift on you. And a heat press most of the time can clamp down on something and keep that in place. So if you're going to use an Easy Press or an iron, just be very careful when you are moving it around because you don't want your design to shift. To stop it from shifting, you can use this, which is heat tape. You do not want to use just any tape. It needs to be this heat tape. Why is that, Sean?
Why is that? The heat transfer, you mean?
The heat tape. Why do you use this versus like Scotch tape?
Because it's capable of resisting heat of 400 degrees and higher.
Yes, and if you use Scotch tape or something, it's going to leave an imprint on that. Yep. This is a protective project mat. So this is a nice silicone item that's going to safeguard your work surface against heat. So this way, when you are utilizing something and you put it down to let it cool, it's not going to heat up anywhere. Now, I would not use this in conjunction with your Easy Press. That is not designed for that. Nope. I know a lot of people will think, oh, it looks like an Easy Press mat, I'm going to use it. Don't do that. The last thing they sent us is the protective paper. Now, this is reusable. A lot of people will look at it and think, oh, it's not going to be able to be reused. And the protective paper is very important. The reason why is it just is doing that. It's giving you a protection between your heating and the colors. And because these colors are going to be used, it will definitely can transfer onto things or through things. And you also can get a mirrored image. So if you're using the paper to apply it, you want to make sure that if you are going to use it again, that you don't accidentally do a second print, unless that's what you're trying to go for. So that is all the product they sent me. Before we get right into making a project, what questions do we have?
Oh, there's lots.
We have questions. We have an FAQ document. If you are not familiar with their website, can we share our desktop to show them how easily they can find the FAQ?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so the FAQ, before we share our website, let me show you what it's going to, the one that I have looks like. This is going to be all of the frequently asked questions that they get. So essentially, you know, how long does the ink in an Artesprix sublimation marker last? This one just blows my mind. Basically, they have enough ink for it to last continuously down basically for football fields. Now there is a trick I will tell you. When you are going to use your markers, one of the biggest tips is store your markers about 15 minutes prior to doing the project with the tip down. You want that ink to start flowing to the tip of the markers. Because if we put them on the side or this, the ink is going to tend to drain to that side.
They said if they're new, do 30 minutes.
If they're new, do 30
or if
minutes.
you found that your tip, or if you found that your pen is upside down, do it for 30 minutes as well. But they said for longer period of time of letting them sit, flat is best.
Yes. So let's go ahead and share our desktop, and I can take you over to their website where you can get all of this information. So their website is very easy to find. It's going to just be irononink.com. So if we go to Iron On, you can either look up Iron On Ink Artesprix, or you can just go to irononink.com. And this is their brand new website. So this is where they have everything. So your store, this is all the links. So you have your blanks, your markers, stamps, supplies, shop all. They even have a kit that will save you a little bit of money. Now, if you have questions, their FAQ is wonderful. This is the exact same FAQ I was showing you, but directly on their website. So this way, if you do have questions when you're utilizing them or trying to come over and conquer some of those issues you might run into, for example, one of those was, why is my ink not coming out consistent? And it was easy. You need to make sure it is face down for at least 30 minutes. The other thing that I love now is they have how-tos. So this is just the start of their videos. They have the sublimation markers. They show you how to do coasters. They're going to show you the supplies. And I've given you the link down below, but just in case you do not see that, if you just head to YouTube, this is their YouTube channel, and this channel will have all of their current videos and the videos that they have coming. So, of course, here's all the projects, the bookmarks, everything that you're going to see. You can also take a look at all of their social media pages, which are down here. So that just gives you an idea, if you run into an issue, where to find it. Before we get started with any project, let's go ahead and ask any questions you might have. And if we don't have the answer, we will definitely get that answer for you. So let's go ahead. What questions is there, Sean?
1 second. I'm just going to back up and make sure we didn't see something right off that. So they're going to be all in between. So one
That's
moment.
okay.
So we just answered that for you, George, the website. Do they sell the adapter? And DIGIART, I think you were talking about the pen adapters. No, I don't think they have the actual adapters.
They do not, no. And the only machine I believe that is going to need the adapter is the Cricut machines. The Brother and Silhouette, they make an accessory that has an adapter. Cricut's pretty proprietary, meaning they do not want you to use other people's products, so they do not sell stuff like that. So you can go to Amazon, though. You'll easily be able to find them. They are all over the place, and they work great. We've not had any issues with it.
Lisa was asking, are these similar to the Tombow markers?
You know, I've never, shockingly, used those markers, so I cannot answer that for you. But I can ask people that have used it and see what they say.
And then just to kind of reiterate, are these for fabric? The fabric has to be a polyester, 100% all the way down to approximately 50. But once you're in the 50, 65, it's going to look very vintage because the amount that's actually being absorbed is a lot less than 100%. So if that's what you're looking for, definitely get a blend. But if you want that high brilliant, you want the 100%.
Yeah. And unlike fabric markers, you're actually going to draw directly onto the fabric. They're meant to be drawn directly fabric. This here, you're actually going to draw onto a piece of copier paper. And then you're going to use that copier paper, flip it over, and then utilizing that's when you're going to actually press it onto whatever blank you're going to use. So that's a big key difference. They don't actually recommend drawing or using the markers directly onto the blank. It's not advised.
Doesn't work.
And also, I will let you know, a lot of people will say, well, I see my marker marks or something. That's usually because the marker needs to have been put down for at least 30 minutes, as Sean had said. When we did this first, we did a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it was great, but you could see the markers, and it was because it was such a big thing I was drawing, and I was utilizing the markers. I didn't prep it right. But I will say, if you have a big project, and you don't want to see those strokes of the marker pen, that's where Glitter HTV comes in, and it is gorgeous and hides that for you. So if you haven't seen our video of showing the Artesprix markers the first time and how to use them, I believe we used a Silhouette Cameo to draw it in black, and then we colored it in. You can take a look at it because the Glitter HTV is amazing.
Yeah, it is very amazing.
Yeah.
Holly was asking, do you need butcher paper? It's not butcher paper, which we know that the other company does it with that, but they came up with something that's a little different. They've gone and tried everything that they wanted to use, and this is the best stuff that they came with. They didn't really give it a name. It's just their protective paper for each, the top and the bottom, and it is reusable.
And to be honest, I don't know why Cricut recommends butcher paper. I personally have not seen a difference in using the two. So I don't know why they recommend it, but this is their protective paper. A lot of people will also use parchment paper, I believe. You just don't want to use wax paper because it's
no wax paper. You don't want to use parchment. Definitely do not use a silicone pad because one, it just takes away from the heat a lot.
Let me clarify that. So they have a silicone pad. This silicone pad is to let the item cool, and it's going to protect your surface from the thing you just heated up. So that's the reason they have this. The reason you don't want to press directly onto a silicone pad is it will absorb heat.
Yeah, it absorbs a lot of heat. Yeah. Is this just for the U.S.?
You know, that is a great question. I do not know.
I do not know. I'm not sure if Ashley, I think Ashley was just going to kind of watch behind the scenes, but if she has an answer, maybe she can pop out and tell us what that is.
Yeah, I can look really quick while you look at some more questions. Can I see this really quick, Sean?
Do they have images to download? What's kind of cool, you're just looking, right? What's kind of cool is that because you can put your pens in your machine, Silhouette, Cricut, and whatnot, and if you find something that you really like, it can draw it. If you're writing, if it's something that you want, make sure you mirror it if you need it to be mirrored. If you don't really need it to be mirrored, you can just let it draw, and then it draws on the black, and then you can go in and just color in the stuff if you want to do that. But if you're doing anything with fonts, you definitely have to do that in mirror effect if you don't want to handwrite it or anything. Do it backwards.
I will do a follow-up on that. I do not know. I believe they do. It does say that they have free shipping on 75 and over on domestic shipping. So I would assume if it says domestic shipping that possibly they do ship worldwide, but I'm not sure. I will wait to get an official answer on that.
Yes, let's see. Good question, Jackie. Do you have to use a certain kind of copy paper? No, just copy paper. Just a normal...
And Tanya one time told us the cheaper the copier paper, almost the better.
Yes.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, I think there was one more. How different are these from the infusible ink markers?
So I'm not going to really dive deep because I don't know the whole history there. However, the infusible ink markers, I think, built on the technology of the Artesprix markers. So in my history, when I went to Creativation the very first time, Artesprix was there. They gave us a pack of markers. They gave markers to a lot of people. And within the next year, Cricut brought out infusible ink. And even though we can't confirm it, it felt very much so like those first infusible inks were very much everything they were telling us was kind of the same thing Artesprix was telling us on their markers. So even though I cannot say that they were, in my experience, yes, these feel a lot like the Cricut infusible ink freehand markers. So they have freehand markers that you can color without the machine. That's what these definitely, I feel like the Cricut infusible ink markers feel very much so like these.
Right.
On that.
And thank you, Ashley, for responding. Yes.
Oh,
yes, they do ship internationally.
Yes, they do.
Thank you.
All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. I need to look at one thing here. I know a lot of you guys are going to have questions on the stamping. And can you use your current stamps? What does this mean? So I want to make sure you guys know that right now they do have their own stamps. They have 2 sets of stamps. Now you can, I wanted to see.
Did you want to show this?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Sublimation back. Okay, perfect. I just want to make sure what we had here. So you can use other stamps. The big thing though, you got to remember is if you're going to use a stamp with words, it's going to be backwards. You're going to have to find a way. So if it's just an image, let's say of a turtle, obviously that's not going to matter unless there's words on it. Where it comes into play is words. And what I mean by that, let me show you their stamp sets here. Let's open this stamp set and I'll show you. Let's go down to this camera. So this one right here, this is just a tent. And to be honest, this, you wouldn't have to reverse. It could be either way. Even the owl, the guitar, the mountains. Where this comes into play is going to be your words. In order for this to work, you need to stamp it backwards because you're going to end up flipping it over and pressing it this way. So you want to be able to stamp it backwards, flip it over, good to go. And we're going to actually do that on these coasters. We're going to play with these coasters. So Sean will be looking for more questions from you guys.
Yep, let me just double check here if we missed any.
And while he is looking for that, I am going to grab one of our pieces of paper. This is just, I think this is 32-pound high performance. I think it's just Xerox paper, to be honest. And I'm just going to grab these coasters and I'm going to draw a template. So grab a marker or a pen, a pencil, whatever works for you. I'll just grab a pencil here. And I'm going to flip it over this way.
I'll use my contractor pencil.
I am. Is that okay?
And of course it is. I'm glad you're using it. Somebody is actually asking, I just saw it a second ago, what is that face on your back wall?
There's a face on my back wall. Oh.
How is it made? The winky one.
So that, you guys, is part of Chalk Couture.
Yep.
And we are in the process of recording over 60 videos for our Chalk Couture channel, which is a separate YouTube channel. And that is one of the projects, which is funny because when it first came out, I was thinking, oh, that's kind of weird looking, but it's super trendy right now. And that's just was Chalk Couture onto a canvas. So it's a gray canvas and black. It probably took 20 seconds to do. So, all right, so I have my patterns printed off here. I'm gonna grab the stamp pad and let me see here. I want to grab the, I have some older ones here too, so I want to make sure I have the right one.
Looks fuzzy to you, Jennifer? I'm sorry. I think it looks okay on here.
Yeah, it's a little, YouTube can be both upload and download.
Yeah. One of these days we'll have some good cameras that can zoom in better too.
All right. So I'm going to use these. So these are some of the words that they have. So we have friend, hello, peace, love, happy, woof, and travel. So we have 4 coasters. I'm going to grab one of these. I'm going to use their stamp block. What's nice on their stamp block is it does have a nice grid on it. So that way you can make sure you are nice and straight there.
I'm going to answer Holly's questions. Did you say whether it will work with the Easy Press using their paper? It will. You can use an iron, Easy Press, heat press.
Just going to take a peek because I don't know, to be honest. I have 3 different stamp pads here and I'm not sure which one is on their website. So I think it's this one actually. Oh, yeah. Oh, I think so. Let me do a sample. Oh, yeah. Okay. Just going to clean this off real quick. And I'm going to start by now my stamp pad is one of the ones that they had when they first sent it to me. So the new stamp pads that they have are the appropriate ones, and they are the ones that say Artesprix on them. Just wanted to let you guys know that. So we have the word travel. Once again, it is backwards, which is what we want, because when we press this, we want it to be the right way. So I'm going to put this off to the side so I can clean it. Let's do happy, Sean. Are you happy?
Always happy.
You're always happy?
I try to be.
Okay, good.
Are they photopolymer or acrylic? I think they're photopolymer.
The stamps?
Yes.
Yeah, they are. Ooh, look at that. 'Cause we're happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is for real. All right, let's do love. Love. To love.
Kim, I agree with you. I love how happy Ken is in his new space. It shows.
It is.
It is much better.
Much needed. The old space was no bueno.
Nope.
And I'm not gonna lie, it's been nice taking, even though it feels like we've been off forever, we haven't. But also we have been very busy. We have redone our studio here. We're in the process of our brand relaunch. We've been getting ready for our chocolate tour. There is exciting times, and I think that for once in a long time, we're doing what we want to do and working with the people we want to work with. Mm-hmm. Which sounds weird because it's like, well, shouldn't you always work with the people you wanted to work with? And the answer is yes, but you know, things happen. All right. So we have some beautiful stamps here, and there is some stuff, but we want to add some color to this.
I have a great question.
Yeah, what's the question?
Evelyn is asking, can you layer the inks, color an image, and then stamp the words on top? I
didn't follow the question.
So let's say you color the background, and then you put the stamp on top of that.
You could.
I believe you can, yes.
Yes.
I believe
just keep in mind that you need to use the ink on, because it is a sublimation ink. You can't just use a regular ink. It would have to be this kind of special ink. So, all right, let's go and start. I'm going to start with hello, and I'm just going to color here. If you guys have questions, by all means, let me or Sean know. And let's go ahead and just start coloring. I mean, I'm going to overshoot on my coloring here because by doing that, I'm going to end up cutting around this and stuff. So now, one of the things that's important to note is these will look a little dull.
Dull and gross.
And that is the case. So I don't want you to think that when you're doing this, you're like, ooh, I need to be brighter, and you continually start coloring over. The thing you want to be careful of is you can already see here on my coloring, see where it's darker in spots and lighter in others. You are going to now get that to transfer, which if you want that look, perfect. But if you are thinking, oh, I wanted something a little bit lighter or darker, you're going to need to know that. So this first color we used is Cupcake. I'm going to then take this. This is the Sky. And another thing I recommend doing is if you buy a pack of these, and you should get all of them, but if you choose to get these, grab something, a polyester blank, and do a nice swatch. So literally just kind of go through the colors, do a little square, and see. So this way you can show people, hey, this is what it's going to, if people come over and do this with you, you can say this is what it's going to look like after you are done pressing it. Mm-hmm. So it gives yourself a little bit of a visual there. This is Mint.
So the question here, so their ink is specially for iron-on. It is a sublimation ink, which means it needs to have a heat source to basically what it does is turns the ink into gas. The gas then gets absorbed into the tubular part of the polyester, because that's what it is, or onto the poly material, like the hard, like what we're doing on this. And that's how it gets its, the way it works. So it has to turn into a gas.
See, when I go to Creativation, I'm around talking to people and blah, blah, blah. And then when he does videos, he knows this information. I'm like, how do you know this? And he's like, I listened to them at Creativation. I'm like, do they say this? And he's like, of course they did.
Yes,
Didn't
they
you
did.
hear it? And I was like, no, Sean. I was coloring and going back to childhood, and to me, it's just magic, and it works. You need a heat source, and a lot of people will ask, well, does it have to be a heat press? You can actually, we have a heat gun that gets over 400 degrees, and you can use that. The thing on that is a consistency. So if you don't have a way, easy press, heat press that's doing consistent heat, let's say you are using a gun, and you're hitting one area more than the other, that can really affect the way it turns out.
Plus, you need some kind of pressure. You need some, just the blowing of heat isn't going to really work well because there's no pressure. Is the color closer to the color on the pen?
It is. We're going to press this one here really soon, so you'll be able to take a peek at that. The thing I wanted to show you here, always kind of make sure you know what colors you're using. These two colors, even though one is blue and one is purple, are very close sometimes. So you just want to make sure that if you don't remember, that you write down what it is. Luckily, I know the second color I used, but that could be no bueno if you did not keep record. Oh, sorry,
I was
Sean.
going to say, question, how does it work with an iron? I thought sublimation required too high a temp and consistent source. Lynn, that's pretty much true. That's why the heat press is the best. You can use an iron, but you're going to, if you have a, they tell you in the video that on one that's got the holes for the steam, obviously no steam at all. It's got to be just the heat. You want it on its highest point. The highest point on an iron is pretty close to 400 degrees. The minimum temperature that you need to use is 360 degrees, but your time has to be longer. So if it says it needs to be on for 45 seconds, you may have to make it a minute or even longer if it's the colder, if it's not as much.
The thing is when these first came out, there was no Easy Press 2. There was just the original Easy Press, and that original Easy Press only got up to 360 degrees. And you could successfully use their markers. It just wasn't as vibrant of a color. The higher the temperature goes, the more vibrancy of the colors you're going to get. So that's the key on that, is you just want to make sure if you're going to utilize something like that, that you are utilizing something that, like Sean said, you might have to put it longer, you might have to test it. You're going to have to take a look at all of those variables.
So an irons can be great for very small things, like maybe your maybe this, and if you do something like this and your iron can't cover it all, because the holes that are on your iron are cold, they're actually a lot less temperature and will not work as well. That's why either if you have an old one that's got no holes on it, it works great, but you might have to do it in quadrants, you know, maybe the top half and then do the second half. So there's a lot of that you may have to do if you have just an iron.
Yeah.
Like we have the Easy Press, the large one. This is the 10 by 12, so it can cover pretty much. Or if you even had the smaller one, you can still use it, but if it doesn't cover it all, just do it in quadrants.
Yes.
You may see a difference on it, but do your best.
Yeah. All right, so what is our heating instruction, Sean?
Heating instructions. Where is the
what?
The thing.
What thing?
It tells you the instructions. Where's the instructions?
I don't know what instructions you're asking about.
For what you're doing.
There is no instructions. I'm going by the will of my feet. Are you talking about this, Shawnee? This doesn't apply.
No, I know that one.
So if you guys need instructions, where would you find it, Sean?
On their website.
Yep. FAQs. Oops. I'm going to be using this heat tape. Because I'm doing this on a coaster and I don't want it to shift on me, this tape will work great. Now, once again, you can reuse this tape if you want to, and you just want to make sure that you line it up just perfect. Yes, Sean?
Oh, I was reading a question, which is kind of a good question. I'll tell you in a quick second here. So,
now, I did not do my best to make sure my letters are centered, everything's there. So you are definitely going to want to take your time. Excuse me here, Sean. And let me go right here.
So Anita, I know you're asking, what would you use to wash fabrics or items with? Can you use detergent? Absolutely. The second this is placed into the fabric, the great thing is that it is permanently in the fabric because it literally is being absorbed into the part of the fabric that you're putting it on in the polyester parts. Even when you're putting it on something like these coaster and stuff, you can wash all day long and it will not come off.
All right, so we're gonna do 400 degrees, and I believe we want to do it at, it's gonna be pretty hot. So let me go to, why don't you go back up to you for a really quick, Sean? Because I have my instructions in the box upstairs and we forgot to bring that down. Sorry, guys.
There we go. Yeah, see, a little winky here. This is pretty big, so this you would have to have a pretty big shirt for this to fit on there.
It was kind of designed, I think, for a pillow, wasn't it?
A pillow, yeah, something like this. This is done on canvas. So this is one way, and obviously you could do any ink color if you want to do ink or chalk or whatever. It'd be really great.
All right, so transfer times is going to vary between obviously 1 and 7 minutes depending on the substrate you are using. And coasters do, if it's not a ceramic coaster, it's not going to be as long. So we're going to do quick search here because I've not used these with coasters yet. So I'm going to grab this and see what we have here. So
let me go to the... So this is the coaster. They call it the texture coaster. So it's not smooth. It does have an actual texture on it, and it's some kind of a wood-like material. I'm not even sure what that would be. I would like to say, Ashley says 400 at 90.
Yeah, that's what I just read. Thanks, Ashley.
Thanks, Ashley. It almost looks like Bakelite, but I know it's not that.
It's what?
Bakelite, but it's not.
Ah. All right, so depending on the...
Oh, I did not grab your pad, sorry.
Okay, I'll go grab it.
I get your paper ready. As soon as I get the little... There we go. So it sounds like our heat press or our easy press is at 400 degrees, ready to go.
So as with anything, you always want to test it out before you do it. Do a little search if you can't find your temperature, because here's the deal, they can give you a general guideline that says, here's our recommended times, but it really does depend on what you are pressing it onto. So obviously, when it comes to a shirt versus a coaster, your pressing time is going to be a little different.
Yes, actually.
Thank you, Sean.
Yep.
All right.
One
so
for one side, one for the other.
Yes. So we are ready. I'm going to go ahead and put this here. Let's go ahead and place this here. Now, when I use my Easy Press, I'm not going to do a lot of moving. Once I put it down, I'm going to do it for 90 seconds. So I'm going to change my timer here for 90 seconds. And I will add a little bit of pressure, but I'm not going to worry too much about the, pressing really hard. So I'm just going to take this. This is a little overkill, obviously, because... and we're just going to press start. So Sean can come back up to us while it is doing its thing. The silicone pad, when we are done, we can bring this up. This is to let your item cool. If you have the Cricut Easy Press and you already have the pressing mat, you can leave it there as it cools. I will let you know, I have been excited before and I wanted to remove it right away. Be very careful. It is very hot.
400 degrees.
400 degrees. And the less you handle it, the better. Because when you start pressing on your Easy Press or even on your heat press or iron, if it shifts on you, you can get what's called a ghost image or a mirror image. So even though you want to add a little bit of pressure, that if you start shifting your Easy Press, you might get those. So if you end up seeing that, that could be part of the problem. As always, definitely test things out before you try it.
Hitomi has a great question. Can you use the markers on the stamps?
Yes, you can.
I don't see why you couldn't, but I know they are looking at coming out with different colored, the colors that they have in the pens, I think are going to be coming out in that as well.
Should I be smelling that?
Yeah, I wonder if there's a little bit of that tape that was on the edge of that. It could be that.
Oh, Jonathan McCoy.
If you need to lift it up just because, you can lift it up.
Sean didn't get the tape off.
I may have.
Our whole house probably will burn down my beautiful new studio. I'm breathing in chemicals from the tape that he wasn't sure he got all the way off. Yep, that's what it was.
Was it the
Sean
tape?
McCoy.
Was it the tape?
Yeah. All right, so obviously we're going to let it cool. You can go and show them that really quick.
Sure.
So we're going to let it cool. Ooh la la. Even just the paper is going to be pretty warm. So cool. So fun fact, I'm going to bring in this so you guys can see what this is used for. Fun fact, when we say protect both sides, this is why. So when we were doing a review, Sean forgot about that little tip, and now we forever have my logo into a pressing mat.
And it is backwards.
We forgot about that. And it is backwards. So just keep that in mind when you're doing something like this. It will press through, and if it is the right blank, it will absorb that stuff. So.
And Jennifer asked, no need for cardstock? Nope, no need.
What are you talking about?
You know.
Oh yeah, because Cricut will tell you you need to use cardstock.
No, she sounds like she's getting crazy.
Are you guys ready?
Look at that.
Oh my goodness, the colors are so much brighter. Hopefully the light's not doing justice. It's bright in person. It's way brighter.
No, that's about right.
It's about right? Okay, good. Look at that. And see when I said to you, like, if you do multiple marks, you're going to see those great looks. So Sean can kind of show you that. And you could technically press this again. There is still ink on here, and it's very viable.
But it's going to be a lot less than what you see.
Correct. That's a great point, Sean. What do you mean by that? It's going to be a lot less.
Because you've already done probably more than 50% of what was on there. Your second pressing is going to be a lot less because there's just not as much ink on there. But there's still enough to do another pressing if you want something like it.
Yeah. So this is a great. I'm going to color this next one that says happy. Yeah. But this is something fun that you can do. Give your kiddos markers. Tell them to go draw on a piece of copier paper. Then you can put that on a mouse pad, a mug, a t-shirt, coasters. A great Father's Day gift, a great Mother's Day gift. Just so many different ideas.
I know somebody just asked that question. What is heat tape and where do you get it? They have the heat tape on their site. The heat tape is capable of withstanding over 400 degrees of heat without melting. So that's why it's great for when you're using the Easy Press or using your iron. It keeps your paper, your thing that you're doing on, so it doesn't move, because you do not want it to move. It doesn't work too well.
What happens if you accidentally move? What would happen?
You could get a ghosting effect, which means that if we placed this on and heated for a couple of seconds, just within a few seconds, and it moved just slightly, you would see a second coloring on there. If it would be the words or whatever, if it moves at all, you do get a second coloring of it.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see on this one how here the stamp was first and the coloring was second.
What?
Diana's asking what would happen if you colored over the words. So if you actually colored over the words will still come through, but I think just by looking at this, it'll be
not as brilliant.
Not as brilliant. So you might want to color first and then do the stamp second.
Correct. Yes, Sean. I see what you're saying now.
Can you go back? Can you go back over the image to brighten to reuse it? Can you? Lou, if you're talking about taking the where to go? Did you already throw it away?
I might have. No, it's over there. It should be. It's right here.
Oh, so if I'm understanding what you're saying, if you took this one here, which is the one we just did, if you took your pens and redid it over again, would it work? It probably would work. Of course, you're going to get different, because you can't copy that exactly, obviously.
And you would have to be very careful to line up your words just perfect, because it would,
it would be tough.
It would be tough. But that's kind of the nice thing is, really, the longer you press, the more brilliant that color is going to be. And there are a lot of people that go for kind of that worn look, which is, if you were to press it a second time, you kind of get that nice faded look.
So Kim asked, good question. Do the hard surfaces have to be sealed at all? No, this is permanent, completely permanent. This will not wash off. I could go and use soap and water on this right now and nothing will happen to it. It'll stay this way all the time. No changes. I'll go like this.
Yeah, and people a lot of times will say, how many times can I wash it? All of that is found on their website. If you go to the frequently asked question link that I gave you, there's actually on there, it'll say how many times can you wash something
yeah, I could, if we did something on fabric on a t-shirt, I could go put it in the wash right away. Because it literally is permanent the second you take the heat off of it.
Yes. All right, so let's cut this out.
And you can crunch it all up and everything, and you don't get any ripples, you don't get anything done. It's perfect the whole way.
So yeah, and it is something a lot of people will also ask, well, can you layer it? So let's say you wanted to cut something out, do it in one layer, cut something out, do it in another layer. That's where the markers come into play, because you don't want to, you're not going to be able to layer the markers on top of each other once you have pressed it. So
Kim puts it very nicely. Once the heat reacts to the ink and the synthetic fibers, it turns into a gas process, which makes it permanent. Exactly, Kim. That's exactly what it means.
So I'm going to grab some of this transfer tape. Uh-oh, what do you got? She has something.
Oh, jeez.
Can you turn that back on, Shani?
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
We can get cut, make it.
So this is where I feel like this is just so much fun, because you can, who doesn't like coloring? And you can just sit here and color and utilize the stamps. You can make coasters and baseball caps and all sorts of fun stuff. All right, so I'm going to grab my pressing pad. We already have this set. We are doing 400 degrees at 90 seconds. I can use the paper once again. So we have that under here. The top one, I do think I threw, oh, no, it is right here. Actually, I'm going to use this one on the bottom because I pressed color onto that. And now I'm just going to add this. And we're just going to hit go.
Fatima asks, stamp a flower and layer it on a piece you just finished. Not sure.
Oh, that's a good idea. She's just basically saying that you could stamp a flower and then layer the flower onto this. So you would have a flower on here.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah. Cindy has a question about vinyl. Do you want to answer it?
The question about vinyl, is there anything I can use on vinyl that would help a sign out I made that it is in my window in the sun? I don't know the question you're asking.
I think when you put vinyl on a window and it directly hits the sun, because you know how sometimes it might
dry,
crack.
You want to use outdoor vinyl.
Yeah.
There's an outdoor vinyl.
Yeah. Raylene asks, could Ken color the background and then stamp the word?
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. Absolutely. In fact, we'll do that next. Once this one's finished, we'll take Fatima's idea and stamp something, butterfly onto it so you can see what that looks like.
What is the price points on these? Somebody's asking.
So the links are all below the video. If you just click on those links, it will take you to the Iron On Ink website, and you will see all the price points. They are a much more reasonable price than they used to be because they used to have to go to an authorized reseller, and this is just awesome. So we're going to lift this up and let it cool. Put that over there. Thank you, Shawnee.
You're welcome.
And you can leave it on the mat. You can also put it on the silicone mat. Now, the nice thing about putting it on a silicone mat is, as Sean had said earlier, it is going to absorb the heat from the coaster and cool it down for you. So we're just going to let this chillax here a little bit. And then I'm going to grab a stamp here to add to these. Let me see what I have that I can add.
Fatima had a great answer to your thing. 651 does carry a great product that can withstand the UV. Absolutely.
There you go.
Outdoor, UV, all that good stuff. So there you go. Check them out if you have never done 651. They're great friends of ours. We love their stuff. Thanks, Fatima.
All right, so let's go ahead and see what this looks like, and then we will add the owl to some of these. Are you guys ready? This is always my favorite part when working with sublimation, is going from the, here, let me show you the before of the paper. Okay, Sean, here, go ahead, show up.
So I'm going to do,
you got it?
Show you this. So this is what it looked like. Dull, dull, dull. And look at the difference.
Look at that.
See how brilliant that is.
Brilliant.
So brilliant.
And there's still ink on here. You could use it again. Yeah. And here it is. But let's go ahead and show your idea. So I'm going to take a piece of this copier paper. We have my stamp. This is a little owl stamp, cutie patootie. And we are going to add a little bit of black ink on here. So I'm just going to stamp. Now this is one of those stamps that wouldn't really necessarily need to be reversed, but it'll at least get our point. So we're going to stamp this down.
Inga, yes, you can, as long as you have an adapter for the pens to hold. That's the only thing you have to do.
I'm just going to cut around this real quick. And I'm going to add my owl. Let's see if I can add it right about. It's going to go a little bit off of it, which is okay. I'm okay with that. This little owl is just going to be chillaxing off to the side. We have our tape that I'm just going to place so it doesn't shift on me. We can grab my easy press, bring that out, and we're going to want to make sure we have our paper. A couple of reasons is, obviously, we did not cover this entire hello. So we don't want that to transfer onto anything. I'm going to cut a piece. The other piece I just used was a little bit worn. Where is my roll of...
What do you need?
The
paper?
Oh, right here.
Perfect.
Here
by me.
Thank you, Sean.
Kim, not quite 40 footballs. It's 4 football fields. So
40 would be awesome.
Yeah, 40 would be awesome. That would be some big pens, but no, just 40. Or 4. It's 400 yards or 1,300 feet.
Look at that.
That's awesome.
So bright and happy. And yes, you could stamp after the fact, and I could have then colored in the rest of the greens and the blues and the purples.
Yeah. I could probably do one real fast.
Sure, you want to? Well, here you go.
I'm gonna do this.
Oh, you don't want to use my words?
No, I'm gonna use the word. Show what everybody was asking.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I'm so sorry. What do you need? Your pencil?
Oh yeah, here it is.
Got it. Yeah. Perfect. Sean's getting a little artsy, everyone. Doesn't happen often. You guys are in for a treat. The crafty side of Sean.
Where's all the pens?
Hid them from you.
Oh, you have them in the white box.
They're in right there for you. Remember, Sean just said, where are the pens? You want to make sure those pens are face down.
We need to find that.
We do need to find that, but we've been live, Sean, so
no.
It's all good. You want to make sure those pens are face down so all that ink is going towards the tip. It will be okay. It's not gonna be horrible. However, you're gonna get a much more brilliant result. So Shauna is doing just some grass, I think.
Yeah, blow grass.
Well, hi, Riles. You want to come color, Riles?
Hi, Riles.
Hello, my little bug. All right, so this is all set. Going to lift it up, put it over here, and we're just going to transfer it over here. Once again, on the easy press mount, you don't have to really worry about it too much, but this way it does cool for you. Sean is showing you his quick coloring.
Yeah, real quick, right?
You can come in here and show everyone what your beautiful coloring you're doing.
Ruby, I'm just coloring just to color.
So he's doing the coloring first, and then
we'll
right
stamp
past
it.
his little head here,
Oh, sorry.
he's going to stamp on top of it. What is that beautiful purple box? I'll give this to your dad for Father's Day.
Okay.
I'll say, look what your son made you. Isn't it gorgeous?
For a fine point.
What do you want to do?
I'm gonna draw a house.
That's a house? Okay.
That's the roof.
All right, while you're drawing your house, let me go ahead and... Oh, look it! Hello, says the owl. How fun. Oh my gosh, I forgot how fun sublimation can be. All right, Sean is going a little look at that cuteness. So tell me, what are you going to stamp something on there, Sean? You're going to stamp something, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna just...
What would you like me to get ready? Do you want it to say hello?
Sure.
Okay.
It's just something to have out there.
This could go for a lot of money on website, the black market, because there's not a lot of pieces created by the one, the only amazing Sean McCoy. And just, oh my gosh, is that a person or is that a flower?
A flower.
Okay, I thought maybe it was a person, but... Okay, that is a beautiful flower, Sean. This is very gorgeous. I'm impressed with your artistry. There you go. Oh, we're not done yet. Okay, moving on. Oh, the house needs to be colored, huh? Okay. All right. You guys, this is magic in the making. Do the stamps color only in black? Currently, right now, the only stamp pad they have is in black. That's not to say that they will not be coming out with other colors, because essentially, the fact that they've formulated an ink to go into a stamp pad, now they definitely probably have the way to do it that they can come out with other colors. So how awesome would that be?
Is it this color I use?
Patrice says you should sign it.
Well, to sign it, I have to do it backwards.
So here we go. Here's your stamp. You want to stamp it?
I'll stamp it, yeah.
All right, here we go, guys.
I'm just putting the word hello in the colored area.
I know you guys can't really see it, but...
Over my big head.
All right. So now what he needs to do is he's going to cut this out.
Or I could just do it right on there. It wouldn't matter. We don't really have to cut it, but you can.
We should.
Yes.
I know. This is going to go for a lot of money, I think, Sean. I don't know the last time he might have done a project live. I don't know. He hasn't done like a Chocolate Tour project in a long time, so...
I get that.
This is uncharted territory, everyone. This is very special. This is like Bigfoot.
Very special.
You're going to see it, but is it something you're going to believe? All right, so we also need to get that heat taped. So I'm going to get him a few pieces of that. There you go,
And
Sean.
you write directly on the blank or only on the paper. Patrice, it needs to be on the paper. Putting it on the blank does not work. It does a little bit, but you're not going to be happy with the results.
It's not recommended.
Not recommended at all.
All right, I'm gonna use some brand new paper. Now their paper is reusable.
Yep.
So definitely keep these, especially if you're doing coasters back to back or something like that, because you're able to reuse them.
And for the with a press or an e-press, you can do a whole bunch of them all ready to go and just boom and go.
You could.
All
Boom
right.
shakalaka.
Boom shakalaka boom.
So we're just going to press and go. The Cricut head.
Oh, Cricut head. That's right.
There you go. There you go. You can go up on this for a sec.
Cheryl,
So,
we were just talking about that. Yes, we believe you can.
Can what?
Use the color pens on the stamp.
You can. I've done it. You can actually just color it. Now, the only reason people were not utilizing it is the word. So if you have a stamp at home, a photopolymer stamp, and you want to use the pens, you could do it. It may not be as brilliant because sometimes those stamps don't absorb the ink as well as, directly coloring on a sheet of paper, but it is doable. We've also seen it done with the gel press where you've taken a word, put it on the gel press, turn around, press the gel press onto paper. It's a little bit of a difficult process, but it is something that is doable.
Yes. Question by Patrice also. Oh, whoops. Yes, it is very similar to it. It's not the one I wanted. It went up. Ken, do you have a code for these?
I do not have a code yet for the website, but I highly recommend you supporting them because the Artesprix ladies are my favorite. They're awesome.
I remember Sean's last project, the tumbler.
I hated that.
Oh, that was it was more like you.
We made one glitter tumbler. It will never happen again. It was not my best moments in life.
Nope.
Lots of fun for people. Lots of laughter.
Laughter and hilarious.
Not fun. Do not find making tumblers relaxing at all.
Don't freak out when you see steam or something. It's not a big deal.
All right, so we'll just move this over so it can cool off on. Uh-oh.
I went too fast and you moved.
Like grease lightning.
Grease lightning. So the silicone will just kind of help. Ken 10. No, it's not Ken 10.
Oh, it might be.
Is it?
Yeah, that's Tanya. She would know.
Tanya. Hi, Tanya. Tanya.
Ken 10.
Ken 10.
There you go. I didn't even know I had a code, people.
Thanks, Tanya. We didn't know.
See, this is why. Everyone always thinks, do you just do stuff to make money? I don't. Because sometimes I just do stuff because I like products and I love it. And it makes me happy. And these people make me happy. They drink Kool-Aid. Anyone that drinks Kool-Aid. Oh, well, look at this cute little.
So that's what it was.
Oh, sorry. You want to go up to this or you want to show them on that camera? Yeah. So this is what Sean's beautiful drawing that we're going to give to his dad. I can't wait to get this to your dad for Father's Day. And what does it now look like, Sean? Voila! Look at this, Sean.
I think the ink is not as brilliantly dark as the pen, the little, like the one in the pen, but it's still there.
Well, and that could be, I'm using, So, I think these were testers. They're not the official release product yet. So, they just came out with the stamping. But look at this. Sean, I'm so proud of you. We also have our Hello coaster here. And my favorite, which is this rainbow coaster. Look at how fun those are. Let's show you on the camera this way too, just so you guys can see them on this. Because look at how brilliant they are on this one. Because that's what I'm saying. You guys are definitely, the lights do distinguish, kind of.
When we get our new cameras, this will be a lot different. I promise. When we get the new cameras.
We just like to spend money.
Well, we want to make things look nice and pretty.
That is. Here is hello. And then this beautiful coaster.
Dear God.
Look at that. Could be our lake house we buy. Is that the sky or is that a lake up here?
That's just the blue sky.
Can I ask a question why the blue sky only goes down a little bit?
It would be really weird if it was everywhere. But I know. I could have done an ombre of lighter blue as I went down. I don't know.
So what we'll say, go to this camera. We're gonna say that this is the sun, and this is the sky, and this is a big cloud, just a massive cloud.
Yes.
It is beautiful, Sean.
Thank you.
I would happily display this in my house.
Thank you, Sherry.
It is art. Art is up for interpretation, right?
That's true.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this fun little jaunt down the Artesprix.
Yeah.
I am so excited that Artesprix has their own website, because when we showed you guys this product the first time, we were sending you to a lot of different places, and the prices were a little bit out of whack just because Artesprix was not a retailer of their own product.
And now they are.
Not only are they, but now they've released all of these amazing stuff to where it's a one-stop shop. You can get the markers, you can get the blanks, you can get the tools, you can get the heat press, you can get everything you need on the site. And like I said in the beginning, this is just the beginning of what they're about to release. I'm so excited for them. So definitely, please support the relationships of the people I love, and I love them. They are awesome. You will have a blast with these. If you have kiddos or grandkids, you could spend a whole weekend creating stuff and making mouse pads and tumblers and coasters and shirts and hats and all of that. So it's super, super exciting. Yes. So we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I will be back tomorrow with a Ken from the car. And then Thursday, we will be back on our Chalkator channel doing some Chalkator projects. We have missed you guys so much. We've missed doing live, so this was a blast. And you are absolutely right. I have found my happy zone again. We are there. It has been a crazy 2020 so far, but it is now going to end amazing.
Let's say it.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions, reach out to us. We will see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.